Today we're gonna be talking about the most affordable, budget-friendly laptops for The Sims 4. First things first, I want you to search for gaming laptop on Amazon. Not laptop, not office laptop, gaming laptop, because this is the best one when it comes to gaming. And aside from that, you can do a bunch of other things and it will last you longer than a regular laptop because it has high specs. In this range, 500 to 600, this is the lowest range. It is this MSI thin laptop, new generation of Intel. Let us see other options here. So these are slightly pricier. This one has an older processor, so we are not interested in that. This one has same specs, so it is basically the same laptop. And then we also have this HP Victus, which has almost the same specs aside from the fact that it has 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is better in the long run. You can pay an extra $40 if you want to have an extra 8 gigs of RAM. This basically means that you are going to be able to run multiple apps at a time. It has a Ryzen processor, and let us check the release date because I'm very curious. This one has been released last year in January versus this MSI one, which has an Intel processor. It has been released 2 years ago in January, so this is slightly older. This is newer. This is basically the best laptop in terms of specs because it does come with a generous SSD. It is the same SSD, but this one has a bulkier SSD. The other one on the HP is an M2, which is basically like a very thin RAM. And let us see other options within the same price range. Let us see if we can find a better GPU, because the GPU is what makes the difference in a laptop when it comes to gaming. For the most part, in this price range, we only have GPUs that have 4 gigabytes of video RAM. I found this is the same exact laptop for a better price, so you can check this out. I'm gonna make sure to link all of those links in my description down below. It only has 8 gigabytes of RAM, so if you're willing to pay a little bit more extra, you can go for the 600 one. But if you are willing to upgrade it in the long run, you can just buy a RAM slot in the next 2 years. It really comes down to your preference. And let us, just search through some other laptops. This is such an interesting laptop, but I highly suggest you don't go for, unknown brands because you don't have that much trust in them. And although there are positive reviews, I have never heard of this brand. I would much rather go for a well-known, renowned brand. Even though it has great reviews, it's just a mini laptop, and I cannot think that this has gaming laptop specs in such a tiny system. Like, this is amazing. But again, I'm not recommending unknown brands. You can go for that HP Victus or for that MSI. It really comes down to your preference. I personally would go with the HP Victus just because it has a slightly newer CPU, as well as it has 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is gonna help you run multiple apps at a time, which means you're going to be running The Sims 4, your browser, maybe your Spotify, as well as your editing app at the same time, maybe OBS if you're planning to record your videos, if you want to start a YouTube channel. I truly hope this helped, and I'll see you in my next video.